You know what's worse than losing money? Losing money and not even knowing why. And in 2025, that's exactly what 90% of investors are going to experience. Not because they're stupid, not because the market is unfair, but because they fall into the same old trap again and again. Fear and greed, two emotions that have destroyed more wealth than any recession, any war, or any inflation combined. Sounds dramatic? That's because it is. Right now, as you watch this, millions of people are investing with zero strategy. They're throwing money into stocks, crypto, gold, and even meme coins, not because they've studied the fundamentals, but because someone on TikTok told them it's going to the moon. Let's be real for a second. Most people don't have an investment plan. They have a hope that the thing they just bought will go up. And when it doesn't, panic, sell, regret, repeat. It's not a market problem. It's a mindset problem. Look at this. According to a 2024 report by JP Morgan, the average retail investor earned only 4.8% annually over the past 20 years. The S&P 500, nearly 10%. That means the average person underperformed the market by more than 50%. Why? Because they buy high and sell low. They get greedy when the market is booming and scared when it's bleeding. Classic. Let's break it down. Imagine this. You hear your friend just made $20,000 trading some AI stock. Suddenly, your FOMO kicks in. I gotta get in before it's too late. You buy. Boom. The market drops 15%. Now you're sweating. Should I sell? What if it drops more? You panic. You sell. You lose. The next month, the stock rebounds 25%. And you're sitting there holding a loss and a lesson. Again, greed whispers, just this once, take the risk. Everyone's doing it. Fear screams, get out now. And in between those two voices, silence. No logic, no strategy, just vibes. That's how you lose money in investing. Now, 2025 is not going to be easy. Let's stop sugarcoating things. We're entering an era of volatility. Inflation may cool, but uncertainty will not. Elections, geopolitics, interest rates, layoffs, tech disruptions, they're all mixing in one giant cocktail of chaos. And yet, investors are treating this like it's a game of roulette. Do you know that 70% of Robinhood users in 2023 lost money? That's not a conspiracy. That's data published by the SEC. The reason? Most of them were trading like gamblers, not like investors. It's not sexy to say, I'll invest consistently in index funds for 10 years. But it works. It's boring to say, I'll stick to a strategy even when the market gets crazy. But that's how wealth is built. Nobody wants to hear that. They want the next Shiba Inu, the next GameStop, the next whatever gets rich quick. But let me ask you, what's the point of getting rich quick if you go broke quicker? The truth is, the market punishes impatience and rewards discipline. Here's a stat that should shake you. If you missed just the 10 best days in the market over the last 20 years, your total return would be cut in half. Half. That's what panic selling does. You never know when the bounce will come. And it usually comes when you're too scared to be in the game. Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. But most people do the opposite. When the market's red, they freeze. When it's green, they chase. And 2025? Oh, it's going to be full of both. Up, down, sideways. Tech stocks are going to be tested. Crypto will get slammed, then spike again. Real estate may dip. Interest rates may pivot. And every financial influencer will tell you this is the last chance. And maybe they're right. Maybe this is your last chance. Not to get rich, but to get smart. Let me give you 3 things to avoid if you don't want to be part of the 90% who lose money in 2025. First, stop following the crowd blindly. The herd is often wrong. Think about it. When Bitcoin hit $60,000, everyone was screaming buy now. That's when institutions were quietly cashing out. And when it dropped to $16,000, everyone said crypto is dead. That's when whales were buying again. Second, don't invest emotionally. Easier said than done, right? But if your decisions are driven by anxiety or hype, you're in trouble. Fear makes you sell at the worst moment. Greed makes you buy with zero due diligence. Either way, you bleed money. Here's a trick. Before you invest, write down why you're doing it. What's your thesis? What's your plan if it drops 20%? If you don't have an answer, you're not investing. You're gambling. Third, have a real strategy. That means asset allocation, diversification, a time horizon, risk management. It means not going all in on one thing because your cousin said it's guaranteed. Newsflash, nothing is guaranteed, not even US Treasury bonds. In 2023, the so-called safest assets had their worst year since the 1800s. Nothing is safe, but being strategic, that gives you an edge. Here's the part no one tells you. Investing is boring when done right. It's like watching paint dry. But that's the secret. That's the edge. While others are chasing the next shiny thing, you're building quietly, patiently. And in the end, wealth doesn't come from one lucky trade. It comes from consistent, intentional decisions over time. Look at history. From 2000 to 2010, the market went nowhere. A whole decade of zero returns. If you panic sold in 2002 or 2008, you locked in losses. But those who stayed in, from 2010 to 2020, the market nearly tripled. The winners are the ones who stay in the game. You want another real number? According to Fidelity, 401k millionaires in 2024 had one thing in common. They didn't sell in downturns. They kept investing. Every month, rain or shine. That's not luck. That's mindset. Fear and greed are like gravity. They pull everyone down. But the disciplined? They build rockets. Now let's laugh a little. Because sometimes the market feels like a joke, right? You buy a solid company, it drops. Your friend buys a dog coin, it triples. And you're sitting there thinking, is the market high? Maybe it is. But here's the thing. The market has always been irrational. The key isn't trying to predict it. It's preparing for it. You don't need to be a genius. You need to be consistent. Let them laugh at your slow, steady strategy. Let them chase the highs and cry in the lows. You'll be sipping coffee, watching your portfolio grow like a tree. Quiet, unbothered, rich. Because in the end, wealth is not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. 2025 will test you. There will be corrections. There will be rallies. There will be influencers telling you to sell everything and others saying buy now or regret forever. Don't follow the noise. Follow the numbers. Follow the truth. And most importantly, follow your plan. Because while 90% may lose money due to fear and greed, you don't have to be one of them. You've just been handed the roadmap. Now it's up to you to follow it, or not. But remember, this might be your last warning before the storm hits. Will you be ready?